At the beginning of this story, we see Prince Afron and his younger brother Otmar. They have a red magical peacock, which is called the fiery bird. One specialty of this peacock is that it sings only on the night of the full moon, and anyone who hears its song is miraculously cured, no matter how sick he is. The prince and Otmar are taking this magical peacock to the palace of King Jorgen. After this, we see King Jorgen in the palace with the minister. The king was very fond of collecting magical things. He shows the minister a horse the size of an ant, which is one of his unique collection of magical things. The king's entire room was filled with magical things. Then the king receives a message that Prince Wolf is coming to the palace to marry Princess Elena. After this, the king takes the minister to show a magical tree. This magical tree bears golden apples. The minister happily tries to pluck the apples, but he is unable to do so. On this, the king smiles and says, "Only the one who has truly loved and has put his life at stake for her can pluck the apples from this tree." Princess Elena playing with children. Then a sorceress comes there and tells her that there is a fair in the city. She advises Elena to go to the fair. On the other hand, a black magician named Carol is watching Elena through his mirror. He wants to marry Elena and is plotting to get her. The princess requests her father to go to the fair, but the king refuses, saying that Prince Wolf is coming to see you. But stubborn Elena secretly goes to the fair, wearing her maid's clothes. Meanwhile, Prince Wolf also reaches there. Seeing Elena in the garb of a maid, he thinks she is a poor girl and insults her and leaves. After some time, Prince Afron and Otmar also reach the fair. Afron's eyes fall on Elena. Seeing her, Afron's heart beats faster. He feels as if he has seen Elena somewhere before. He smiles and says to Elena, "I have seen you many times in my dreams." Hearing this, Elena also starts getting attracted towards him. Afron happily goes to his brother Otmar and tells him, "I have found the queen of my dreams. I will go to meet her again this evening." It was a full moon night and the magical peacock started singing. The peacock's melodious voice echoed in every corner of the palace. King Jorgen was also alerted by this voice. He immediately understood that the firebird had reached his palace. At the same time, Princess Elena was also drawn to the melodious voice, where Prince Afron was waiting for her. Their eyes meet, and the sparkle of love is clearly visible in their eyes. Afron, with loving words, puts a ring on Elena's finger and gets engaged to her. He still did not realize that Elena is a princess. The next day, Prince Wolf and Prince Afron come face to face in the palace. Wolf angrily threatens Afron, saying, "Stay away from Elena. If I see you around her, I will kill you." Afron says in a calm tone, "I have just come to deliver this magical peacock to the king. I will leave from here tonight itself." After this, he hands over the magical peacock to the king. The king orders that this peacock be placed on the magical tree. Just then, Prince Wolf comes quickly into the room and angrily tells the king, "I want to meet Elena right now." When Elena comes into the room and Afron sees her, he is surprised. He finds out that Elena is not an ordinary village girl, but a princess. Afron tells the king that we love each other and we are engaged. Hearing this, Prince Wolf becomes furious. He takes out his sword and attacks Afron. Afron also takes out his sword and confronts him. A dangerous fight breaks out between the two. The king tries to stop them, but suddenly a fierce storm rises in the palace. It becomes pitch dark, and from that darkness, the magician Carol appears. His eyes glow red, and there is a devilish smile on his face. Carol threatens the king and says, "Elena is mine, and I will marry her. If you refuse, then the whole palace will have to pay the price for this." The king rejects his demand in anger. Carol, enraged by this, binds Princess Elena in his black clouds with the help of magic and disappears from there. When the king comes to know that Elena has been imprisoned by Carol, he goes into a deep shock. The magician brings Elena to a dark cave, which was his hideout. There were walls filled with strange symbols and signs of black magic all around. Carol said with a devilish smile, "I want to marry you. That is why I have brought you here. I want a son whom I can teach black magic and make him the greatest magician of this world." Elena started to retreat in fear. Then Carol pointed towards his chest and said, "No one can kill me, because my heart is not in my chest. I have hidden it in a place where no one can reach. As long as my heart is safe, I am immortal." On the other hand, Afron reaches the sorceress to save Elena. Afron asks her about Carol's whereabouts. The sorceress said in a grave voice, "Nobody knows Carol's whereabouts, but there is a golden horse which flies like a bird, and it can take you there. That horse is with King Garmin, and the king loves him like his son." The sorceress further said, "It is not easy to kill Carol. His heart is not in his chest. To defeat him, you have to find his heart first." Hearing all this, Afron did not panic. Rather, his resolve became stronger. He said, "I will save Elena at any cost." His younger brother Otmar also decides to accompany him. Seeing their courage, the sorceress gave them a magical bracelet from which a rope came out. This rope could tie and imprison anyone. Along with this, the sorceress also gave them a magical medicine, with the help of which they could understand the language of birds. Afron and Otmar thanked the sorceress and immediately set out towards King Garmin's palace, with the intention of getting the golden horse. On the other hand, Prince Wolf bows before the king and says, "Your Majesty, I am ready to save Princess Elena, but for this I need a lot of gold and silver." The king agrees to his words and gives him a lot of money. Prince Afron and Otmar were moving towards King Garmin's palace through the forest. On the way, they meet two hunters who were carrying an eagle in a cage. Afron gives them a gold coin, in exchange for which the hunters release the eagle. The eagle starts flying as soon as it is free and says to Afron, "You have saved me. I will also help you when the right time comes." After some time, Afron and Otmar reach King Garmin's palace. But the scene there was strange. Black flags were waving around the palace. They ask a soldier, "We want to meet King Garmin. We want his golden horse." The soldier replies while crying, "Now this is impossible. King Garmin died this morning, and the whole palace is immersed in mourning." Hearing this, Afron and Otmar get disappointed, but they do not lose courage. They enter the palace stable and try to steal the golden horse, but then the soldiers catch them. The minister sentences them to death, but then the queen comes there. She looks at Afron and Otmar carefully and says, "We will spare your life if you bring my husband back to life." Afron asked in shock, "How is this possible?" The queen placed a bottle in front of them and said, "There is a magical lake near our kingdom. Drinking water from that lake can bring back any human being to life. You just bring that water from there and bring the king back to life. In return, you can take the golden horse." Afron and Otmar obey the queen and set out towards the magical lake. Finally, they reached the magical lake. When Afron and Otmar reached there, they found out that the lake was inside a deep valley. The valley was so deep that it seemed impossible to go down. Both brothers slowly started descending into the valley. But then Otmar's foot slipped, and he started rolling down the rocks. Without wasting a moment, Afron pulled out a rope from his magic bracelet and saved her just in time from falling down. Reaching the bottom of the valley, they came near the lake. The water on the surface of the lake was shimmering like silver. Afron dipped a bottle into the lake and took the magic water. But just then, a demonic creature emerged from the depths of the lake. It had red, glowing eyes and sharp, pointed teeth. It pounced on Afron and started pulling him under the water. Otmar immediately sprang into action. He took out his knife and attacked it. The creature ran under the water, screaming in pain. But in this fight, Afron's magic bracelet was left with the creature. Just then, the same eagle came from the sky. He went to the creature and held the magic bracelet in his beak and returned it to Afron. After this, Afron and Otmar returned to the palace with the magic water. They gave the magic water to the queen, and the king came back to life. Keeping her promise, the queen gave him the golden horse. On the other hand, Prince Wolf's situation was different. Instead of looking for Elena, he stayed in an inn, where he started wasting his time in alcohol and debauchery. As soon as he found out about Afron's golden horse, he immediately sent some of his goons to snatch the horse from Afron. Afron and Otmar were riding on the horse towards the magician Carol's hideout, when suddenly the goons attacked them in the forest. So Afron took out a rope from the magic bracelet and tied all the goons to a tree in one stroke. On the other hand, Elena finds the room with the magic mirror. The magician Carol is out for some work, which gives Elena a chance. She stood in front of the magic mirror and said, "Show me Afron." The mirror began to glow, and in it Afron and Otmar were both riding on a flying golden horse and heading towards it. Hope returned to Elena's eyes. But then the magician's servant came into the room. He saw Elena in front of the mirror and told the magician about all this. On hearing this, the magician became furious. He said angrily, They cannot reach my hideout. I will destroy them on the way. So he sets out with his black storm to stop them. Meanwhile, the servant again reached Elena and started trying to convince her. You are trying to run away in vain. The magician is not bad. You should marry him. But Elena ignores her words. On the other hand, the king's condition started deteriorating. The sorceress advised everyone, we have to wait for the full moon night. When the magic peacock sings, then the king can be cured. When Afrin and Otmar reached the forest, the magician Karl suddenly attacked them. He used the magic of storm and lightning, but both of them escaped his attack and kept moving forward. The magician returned to his cave after being defeated and went to Elena. He shows her a huge magical room in which he has imprisoned storm, rain, fire, and lightning. Then he picks up a magic stone with the help of which lightning can be produced. But Elena was determined. She will wait for Afron at any cost. The servant goes to the magician again and says, if you do not steal the magic peacock as soon as possible, the king will get well. Hearing this, the magician immediately comes into action and steals the magic peacock from the palace with his black magic. The next morning when Elena sees that peacock with the magician, her heart breaks. She becomes sad and starts crying. Just then the same eagle flies and drops Afron's ring in front of Elena. Elena understands on seeing the ring that Afron is very close and has come to save her. On the other hand, Afron and Otmar reach below the magician's fort. There they see a cave near the river, which goes directly inside the fort. Afron tells his brother Otmar, I will go inside the cave. You stay outside and wait for me. While entering the cave, Afron sees an old well. He descends inside it and reaches the magician's hideout, where he sees Elena crying. Then he tells Elena, we can kill the magician if you find out where he has hidden his heart. After some time, the magician comes to Elena. Elena asks smartly, how can you love me without a heart? Hearing this, the magician laughs and says, my heart is hidden inside the biggest rock in the forest. No one can take it out from there. Afrin, who was secretly listening to their conversation, understands everything. He decides that he will find the magician's heart and kill him and free Elena. Before leaving, Elena gives Afron a magic stone, which she had stolen from the magician's room. Afron reaches the rock with his brother Otmar. The glow of the magic stone opens the door of the rock. As soon as they go inside, they hear the sound of a heartbeat. Both brothers start moving towards the deeper part of the cave. But then Otmar slips and falls into a lava-filled swamp and dies. Afron is drowned in grief by the death of his brother, but he does not give up and reaches the heart of the magician. The sorcerer becomes suspicious of Elena. The sorcerer threatens, you have tricked me. If you do not marry me, I will kill the peacock. At the same time, Afron steals the heart. As soon as the heart is in his hands, the sorcerer writhes in pain and his eyes bleed. The sorcerer's servant sees all this in the magic mirror and moves to kill Elena. Just then, Afron arrives and attacks the servant, killing him. The sorcerer makes a final fatal attack on Afron and Elena. But Afron wastes no time in breaking the sorcerer's heart. The sorcerer turns to ash, screaming, and his black magic is destroyed. Afron and Elena then return to the palace on the golden horse, carrying the magical peacock. First, Afron and Elena reach the sorceress. Afron returns the magic bracelet to her, saying, I killed the sorcerer, but I lost my brother on this journey. The sorceress praises Afron's bravery. Meanwhile, Prince Wolf learns that Afron and Princess Elena have returned. So Wolf attacks them with his goons. In this deadly attack, Wolf stabs Afron in the chest and kills him. Wolf threatens Elena, saying that if you tell anyone about this, I will kill the magical peacock. Scared Elena does not say anything, but the whole incident is witnessed by the eagle. The eagle immediately goes to the sorceress and tells her everything. The sorceress brings Afron's dead body and asks the eagle to bring water from the magical lake. The eagle quickly flies towards the lake. On the other hand, Prince Wolf reaches the palace with Elena. He lies to the king, saying that he killed the sorcerer and rescued Elena. The king is pleased with his bravery and announces his and Elena's marriage. The next day, during the wedding, Afron returns to the palace and attacks Wolf. There is a fierce sword fight between the two. Wolf eventually falls from the roof of the castle and is killed. On the night of the full moon, the magical peacock sings again, and the king is completely healed. After this, Afron plucks a golden apple from the tree, as he had risked his life for his true love. And thus ends the story. I'm just a hardworking creator, trying my best, pouring my heart and soul into every video. If you found even a little bit of value or joy in my work, please consider subscribing to my channel. That one small subscription means the world to me and gives me the strength to keep creating. I'd be so grateful. Thank you from the bottom of my heart.